This is me. I'm 10 years old. I'm big boned. At this time, my dad is a salesman for artificial fibers. He drives a second-hand beige Mercedes. He's about as old as I am now. My mom is his professional wife. She does fondue, she drinks gin and soda. My brother Anthony is older than me. We are a middle-class family growing up in the middle of the 1970s, in the middle of the Isle of Wight, which is an island off the south coast of England. I'm not feeble-minded, if that's what you're thinking. I've kept abreast of things. I have a pretty good understanding of the human condition. And considering I came from where I came from, I think I'm doing pretty well for myself. So, the overwhelming question is why? Why did I end up here? In one of my first interactions with the psychiatric profession, my psychiatrist presented an idea to my mother that, much like how the physical act of smiling can induce a sense of happiness in the smiler, that perhaps I had come to the conclusion that by performing an act that could, at least on the outset, be seen as intriguing, I could provoke a sense of intrigue in me. Or, you know, maybe it's all arbitrary. My dad would always insist that it started at the age of 4, when, through an act that he insists was one of pure will, I didn't move my bowels for over a month. He said the look of triumph on my face when they deposited the enemas and the suppositories was the exact same look I had on the cover of Art Monthly, however many years later that was. If that really was my first act of self-determination, I was too young to remember the reasons why. No, for that, you'd have to go to the great silence of 1973. You'll understand how grueling that must have been for all involved. I don't know what made me such a cunt. Ever tried? Ever failed? No matter. Try again. Fail again. Fail better. I'm just going outside, and maybe some time. The others nod, pretending not to know. At the heart of the ridiculous, the sublime. He leaves them to their reading and begins to climb, goading his ghost into the howling snow. He's just going outside, and maybe some time. His tent recedes beneath its crust of rime, and frostbite is replaced by vertigo. At the heart of the ridiculous, the sublime. Must we view it as some sort of crime? This numb, self-sacrifice of the weakest. No, he's just going outside. And maybe sometime. In fact, forever. Solitary enzyme. For though the night yield no glimmer, there will glow at the heart of the ridiculous, the sublime. He begins to leave this earthly pantomime, knowing it is time to go. I'm just going outside, and maybe sometime, at the heart of the ridiculous, the sublime. Ever tried? Ever failed? No matter. Try again. Fail again. Fail better. Now I'm alone. Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I. Is it not monstrous that this player here, but in a fiction, in a dream of passion, could force his soul to his own conceit that from her very working his visage wanned, tears in his eyes, distraction in his aspect, a broken voice, and all with form suiting to his own conceit, and all for nothing. For Hecuba. What's Hecuba to him, or him to Hecuba, that he should weep for her? What would he do if he had the motive and the cue for passion that I have? He would drown the stage with tears and cleave the general ear with horrid speech, make mad the guilty and appall the free, confound the ignorant, and amaze, indeed, the very faculties of eyes and ears. Yet I, a dull and muddy-mettled rascal, can say nothing. No, not for a king, on whose property in most dear life a damned defeat was made. Am I a coward? Who calls me villain? Who plucks off my beard and blows it in my face? Who tweaks me by the nose, gives me a lie in the throat, his deepest of the lungs? Who does me this, huh? Swoons, I should take it. For it cannot be, but I am pigeon-livered, and lack gall to make oppression bitter. Ere this, I should have fattened all the region's kite with this slave's offal. Bloody, bawdy villain, remorseless, treacherous, lecherous, kindless villain of vengeance. This is most brave. That I, the son of a dear father, murdered, prompted to my revenge by heaven and hell, must, like a whore, unpack my heart with words and fall a-cursing like a drab, a scullion. Fie upon foul, about my brain. I have heard that guilty creatures sitting at a play have by the very cunning of the scene been struck to the soul so presently that they have proclaimed their malefactions. For murder, though it have no tongue, will speak with most miraculous organ. I'll have these players play something like the murder of my father before mine uncle. I'll observe his looks, I'll tempt him to the quick. If he but blench, I know my course. The spirit that I've seen may be a devil. And the devil hath the power to assume a pleasing shape, aye, and perhaps out of my weakness and my melancholy, as he is such potent with such spirits, abuses me to damn me. I'll have grounds more relevant than this. The play's the thing wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king. Ever tried? Ever failed? No matter. Try again. Fail again. Fail better.